Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And today we got a pretty interesting show in store for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel and hit all notifications to be sure you don't miss our content when it comes out. So let's get into this topic here. Now, every NBA season, right before the season starts, a lot of big sports media companies start to put out their NBA rankings. You see companies like Bleacher Report, Yahoo, and all these other companies. And the one that usually leads the way is ESPN. Now, ESPN has a history of triggering its followers and its viewers with some of the lists that they do. And we've now discovered the term for what ESPN does from time to time, which is called rage baiting, which is they put out information to get people pissed off, and then once people get pissed off, they start engaging with that content. They figured out that, look, this is a way for us to constantly generate engagement. And they've been doing this successfully for years, to the point where you've had players like the late Kobe Bryant come out and say that he believes that ESPN just has a bunch of idiots working over there. When they put out a list, I think one year where they ranked him as the 25th player. That was the year that he said that about ESPN. So what happened recently, over the last 3 days or so, they've been previewing a list that they've been working on, which is ranking the top 100 players in the NBA, right? And they went through all the way from 100 to 51. And as I went through that list, you had certain players on the list. Like if I just go through some of their rankings in terms of the top 100 to 50 players, you saw some of the usual names that you would expect to see. They have Chris Paul as the 99th best player, Mike Conley, 98. Let me just go through some. Al Horford at 96. Let's jump forward a little bit to the 80s. You have Naz Reid at 87. Let's jump a little higher. You have Jarrett Allen at 73. You have Jalen Green at 69. Let's jump a little higher. Desmond Bane at 60. Alex Caruso, 59. And then the list just went on and on and on and on. Let me see who else they got. 51, they had OG Anunoby. But that's not the one that's really sparking a lot of controversy. It has to do more with their top 10 ranking, right? And this is where you're basically saying who the top 10 players are in the NBA. And in typical fashion, ESPN found a way to piss off NBA fans and send them into an absolute frenzy. But before we even get into ESPN's top 10 players, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Game Time. With only 4 months left until the end of the year, I look forward to creating special moments with family and friends by attending various theaters, shows, plays, and sporting events. And when it comes time for me to look for tickets, I absolutely love to use Game Time. Game Time is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. Game Time saves me money, time, and peace of mind, so I don't have to sort through thousands of tickets looking for the best prices or worry about whether or not if they're authentic or whether if I'm going to receive them on time. Game Time Picks, one of my favorite Game Time tools, analyzes thousands of tickets for all of your favorite events near your location and finds you the best possible deal so you don't have to. For example, I'm looking forward to this upcoming concert at Madison Square Garden of one of my favorite composers, Hans Zimmer. Here I can select the all-in price to see the total ticket price up front. No hidden fees. And now I can sort through the best possible deals I can find. I can choose the cheapest deals, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. And if you're like me and always make plans at the last minute, you can grab tickets up to 90 minutes after the event has started. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into their top 10 players, and we'll show it to you as we go through the numbers. At number 10, they have Anthony Edwards, the guard from the Minnesota Timberwolves, ranked as the number 10th player. He moved up 3 spots, where last year he was ranked at 13. So now ESPN has him a top 10 player. Then you go to number 9, you have Kevin Durant of the Phoenix Suns. Last year, they had him ranked at number 7. Let's move forward. You have Joel Embiid, who last year was ranked number 3, and he got dropped all the way down to number 8. Let's move on again. Then at number 7, this is the one that's sparking a little bit of controversy. They had LeBron James ranked at number 7, where last year he was ranked at number 9. Moving on. Number 6, they had Stephen Curry, who's number 6. Last year they had him ranked at number 5. Moving up, we have Jason Tatum, who last year was ranked as number 6. He moved up to number 5. Number 4, you have SGA. Now, he jumped 4 spots on their list. Last year, he was number 8. This year, he went to number 4. Let's move to the top 3. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was ranked as the best player last year by ESPN. He went from number 1 to number 3 on their list. Number 2, interestingly enough, you had Luka Doncic, who was ranked as the 4th best player by ESPN last year. And they got him ranked number 2. And now, now they have Nikola Jokic, they have at number 1, and last year they had him at number 2. First of all, let's address the Nikola Jokic part. I agree with Nikola Jokic as the top player in the NBA. If we're looking at the best players, in my personal view, top 5, you got to go Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic. I would throw in Joel Embiid when he's healthy, but obviously that's a question mark there. But when he's healthy, he's a top 5 guy. And then you have SGA. And some other players there as well. It's interesting. Jason Tatum, they have him ranked as number 5, and he could barely get any minutes on that Olympic team. And I think that this list is being heavily influenced by what we saw on the Olympics and during the Olympics. Because if you watch the NBA last year, especially in the playoffs, I'm not even sure. No, I am 100% sure that LeBron is not better than Anthony Davis, who's on his team, which now gets us to the NBA fans being in a frenzy. So prior to this show, about 2 hours before producing the show, we put up 2 polls. The first poll was, do you agree with ESPN ranking LeBron James over Anthony Edwards? And then in the second poll, we asked the same question, just changed the player. Do you agree with ESPN ranking LeBron over Anthony Davis? In the first poll that we put up, about 1,400 people have voted thus far. If you haven't voted, go vote. I'm sure it's going to thousands more will continue voting. 71% said no, they disagree. 71%, so 29% agree with ESPN. The second one, with the poll involving Anthony Davis, 65% said no, and 35% said yes. Now let's go through some of the things that people were saying on that Anthony Edwards post. One person said ESPN is Disney. The LeBron hype is just another fictional tale. One of our viewers said if LeBron ranked above Edwards, then AD should be ranked ahead of LeBron. Another person, ESPN and NBA are LeBron's minions. One other guy said, I'm the king supporter, James supporter of this channel. No way, no how LeBron should be ranked above Anthony Edwards today. Now, this moment, no sir. This is Ant-Man's time. Another guy said, is the NBA even watchable now? It's a complete circus show led by the king of clowns, LBJ. Another person said, right now, no. Career, yes. Another person said, Anthony Edwards is talented, but he doesn't know the game of basketball like LeBron. I will still put LeBron over everyone in the league. Okay. And then one final person said, ESPN will ride that horse till the end. The same thing SA was saying about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA applies to NBA. You ride hard with what puts money in your pocket. So ESPN will continue to promote new Balco till he's ready to retire. And then another person said Ant-Man is better. So what are my thoughts on it? And more people commented on the Anthony Davis part. Well, ESPN doesn't even have Anthony Davis in the top 10. I don't believe LeBron is a better basketball player than Anthony Davis. I don't believe so. I don't. And the simplest way to figure this out is this. If you remove Anthony Davis off the Lakers and you keep LeBron and you supplant AD with another power forward, right? But not an all-star caliber player. Does that team have a chance of making the playoffs? My answer is no. They have no chance whatsoever. But if you replace LeBron with another serviceable 3-man and you keep Anthony Davis, does that team have the ability to make the playoffs? Yes. And some of you are like, well, how do you prove that? We already saw this. We saw that the year they made their front run to the Western Conference Finals when LeBron went down for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And during that period where the offense was running exclusively through Anthony Davis, you could tell that the Lakers were an entirely different team. He was putting up gaudy numbers. He was averaging something like 37, 38 with like 13 rebounds a game. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I don't think that he's better than Anthony Davis. Let's talk about Anthony Edwards. I don't think he's better than Anthony Edwards ever, and I'll tell you why. Anthony Edwards impacts the game more on both sides of the floor. Anthony Edwards actually plays legitimate defense, like real defense. And defense must count. And then he also plays at a high level on the offensive side, and he also raises the competitive spirit of his teammates just by his level of competitiveness and his audacity. So I disagree with that. I think that AD should have made it into the top 10. And I think that Anthony Edwards should be ranked ahead of LeBron. But that's what ESPN believes. So the question is simply this. Do you agree with ESPN ranking LeBron James ahead of Anthony Davis and Anthony Edwards? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.